Moving at the speed of sound, quickest hedgehog around. Teams up with the super fighting robot, Megaman! Yeah, the Megaman cartoon theme was totally lame. So it's January, and we start crossover month with the Archie Comics epic Megaman Sonic crossover event, Worlds Collide. Warning, massive spoilers ahead. On with the show. Megaman number 24, Worlds Collide Part 1, Kindred Spirits. We begin with Sonic the Hedgehog and Megaman fighting. Well, that was surprisingly fast. But as they fight, we see that Dr. Wily, the villain for Megaman, and Dr. Eggman, the villain for Sonic, drink champagne as they celebrate their nemesis destroying each other. And they only need 2 more Chaos Emeralds to succeed in their plan. Does it feel like we hopped into the middle of the story here? Well, don't worry, because we then cut to weeks ago, when one of Dr. Wily's robot masters brings Dr. Wily a sapphire they found in the jungle. Dr. Wily is thrilled, and when trying to analyze it using his supercomputer, Ra-Moon, it unexpectedly opens up a communication link between Dr. Wily and Dr. Eggman, who was in the middle of yelling at his incompetent robotic minions. Dr. Eggman, who is coming off of having failed to remake the world previously, knows that because Dr. Wily is from the year 20XX, he's not of Eggman's world. But this just gets the gears churning in Eggman's head, since they're both the greatest evil robotic experts in their worlds, so they should meet up. He instructs Wily on how to use the Chaos Emerald, and they meet in an entirely new universe that, after some arguing, they decide to call it the Skull Egg Zone. And since the Skull Egg Zone has a unique time flow, they have all the time in the universe to create their ultimate weapon, a battle station designed by Eggman with the internal defenses designed by Wily. Of course, they then argue about the name until they decide on the Wily Egg. They then rebuild the Cosmic Reset button, and Wily hits it. Of course, we don't really see what happens to the world in this. Which are both annotated to being shown in Sonic the Hedgehog number 247 and Megaman number 23, respectively. Hey, they're technically not part of the crossover, so I'm not covering them. But Wily now remembers everything that's changed, and they're ready to conquer the new worlds. Over in Sonic's new world, Miles Prower, Tails the Fox, is packing for an adventure with Sonic when there's a knock at the door. Tails opens the door, but it's Bass and Metal Sonic who knock out Tails and take him to the Wily Egg. Short of it, Wily and Eggman then turn Tails into a robotic master, or rather a roboticized master, total organic to metal transformation. And with that, they send their minions to collect the rest of Sonic's friends. In Megaman's world, Proto-Man, the brother to Megaman, is doing the Batman scene staring out over the city when he hears cops being called to a bank robbery. So he goes to save the day, but as he confronts the robbers in the vaults, it's actually Tails Man, Knuckles Man, Rose Woman, and Shadow Man, the roboticized friends of Sonic turned evil minions, there to destroy Proto-Man. Oh no! There's a lot to talk about in this issue, so let's just power through all this. The events of World Collide starts in the Sonic the Hedgehog universe with the previous story involving Dr. Eggman using the Chaos Emeralds to recreate the Sonic world using the Genesis wave caused by the Cosmic Reset button, but he was foiled by Sonic. But when that happened, the Chaos Emerald that powered it vanished, appearing in the Megaman world as we see here. As for the previous issues of their respective series that were brought up, the only thing actually shown in them is that the last page has the Genesis wave hitting their place. This is definitely a huge event with 2 icons crossing over, but I am coming into this event totally blind, and had I not used the wiki, I would honestly be lost on what happened before. And because this is who I am, I truly hate that the start of this is a shot of the future with them fighting, and that the real story takes place weeks before. I've always felt that it's a cheap device to inlay random action, though I sorta can say that I understand it here, because this is a fairly long-winded comic. There's a lot of setup with a truly metric ton of exposition. That, coupled with the what the hell of it, really could turn new readers off for this event. But honestly, I don't think it would as much as I think it would, if that makes any sense. As with the very few Sonic comics I've read, and if anyone donates some to me, I'll totally do a week or month to doing them for the show proper, there's a playful nature that really carries the interactions here. While yes, this issue is from the villain's point of view, it's a blast to see them interact. They have a great, for lack of a better word, chemistry that carries on a nearly flawless relationship, where yeah, they do argue over what to name things, it never becomes trying to undermine each other. They compromise because together they can in fact beat their respective heroes. So while on a personal level I totally love it, professionally I can say that this issue isn't perfect and does have some flaws on a newcomer status. It's able to overcome the really tiny hurdles because of it. We live in an age where continuity isn't hard to find out. It's not like in the 90s where there weren't large resources and communities to assist you into indoctrination to a product, and you'd have to either be confused or hope for the best. Tomorrow, I really hope that the recap doesn't take up a full page. Seriously, I haven't written that long of a recap since I did the 60s Doctor Strange comics. Anyways, see you tomorrow. Sonic Universe number 51, Worlds Collide Part 2, Mistaken Identities. We begin in Megaman's universe right after the new Genesis wave changed their world. Dr. Light, the good robotic genius, is tinkering in his lab when Rock, our lovable robotic hero Megaman, comes in so that they can work on building Bondman. But Roll, another robot and Rock's sister, comes in to tell them that Blues, or Proto-Man as we know him, is in trouble at the bank fighting robot masters they've never seen before. The roboticized masters from the end of last issue, obviously. Megaman suits up and teleports over to help Proto-Man, and then they teleport to an adjacent rooftop to regroup. Proto-Man tells Megaman that they broke into the bank to steal a large gemstone before he tried to stop them. But they've been able to stop alien robots before, so Megaman jumps back to stop the roboticized masters. Over in Sonic's world post the latest Genesis wave, Sonic is spinning through Green Hill Zone as he often does, but begins to feel that same off feeling from the first Genesis wave, as chronicled in the Genesis graphic novel. But worse than that off feeling, he can't find any of his friends, and he even goes into Amy's room to see if she's there. By the way, I kind of love the art there because he looks totally skeeved out. It's on the Archivist Facebook page if you want to see what I mean. But since it would take too long for him to search the entire planet for his friends, he calls up his friends on the Chaotix crew. From Knuckles Chaotic, or more popularly, I would say Sonic Heroes as the detective agency they are in this. The team is Charmy Bee, Vector the Crocodile, and Espio the Chameleon. They're searching around the city, but suddenly Charmy disappears. They're searching around the city, but suddenly Charmy disappears. Then Espio goes missing. And finally, Megaman shoots to capture Vector. But it's not Megaman, it's Copy Robot. You can tell because he has a kicky scarf. Back in Mega City, on Megaman's world, Megaman is holding his own against the roboticized masters, but even his charge shot barely stuns one. Suddenly, he's knocked over by something rolling around at the speed of sound, or however fast game theory actually proved Sonic goes. Whatever it was goes through the warp ring as the roboticized masters follow. Megaman is barely able to enter it in time, ending up in what looks to be Green Hill Zone. Elsewhere in Sonic's world, Sonic meets up with Silver, the time-traveling, silverish-looking hedgehog, who knows there's something up with the time-space continuum again. As they run/levitate along, talking about what's going on with that and his friends missing, another containment shot comes out of nowhere, capturing Silver. Copybot says that he'd love to get Sonic, but that the boss has better plans for him, and starts to run, Sonic chasing after. Back with Megaman, Metal Sonic knocks him down, and Megaman starts chasing after, firing to the best of his ability at the speeding steel rodent. I think you may get where this is going. Copybot gives Sonic the slip, and Metal Sonic was too fast for Megaman. But out of nowhere, Sonic spin dashes into Megaman's face and they square off, with Tailsman hovering far enough away not to be seen, showing Dr. Wily and Dr. Eggman their fight as they celebrate. So we've come full circle back to the opener to the first issue. So that's good at least. Okay, so this issue is actually a lot less wordy than the last one, but there's still a lot of plot going on. We visit both worlds after the new Genesis wave, though I'm still not entirely sure what's changed since I didn't know what the books were like before, and no one, can really turn around and strictly say, hey, we're just going video game continuity right now. Other than that, there's not a lot to analyze about this issue. The plot is pretty straightforward. Actually, I'll do it here just in case it changes later. I legitimately love the fact that Dr. Wily and Dr. Eggman working together truly seems to make them totally competent and legitimate threats. They use the robot doubles of their titular heroes to fight without it feeling forced. It's totally a heat-of-the-moment fight that really works well, since Metal Sonic wouldn't fool anyone if he was seen clearly, and the only thing about Copybot that's different is a slightly darker palette on his armor and a scarf that Sonic thinks he knocked off. It's legitimately pretty sweet. So now that we've got the backstory of their official fight out of the way, tomorrow we see round 1 of Sonic vs. Megaman. Fight! Sonic the Hedgehog number 248, Worlds Collide Part 3, No Holds Barred. It's a real slobber knocker down here as the blue blur faces off in a Green Hill brawl with the blue bomber. Sonic is too fast for Megaman to blast and he keeps getting knocked down. Sonic still thinks he's one of them thinking badniks with a bird or a pig trapped inside. He says that he won't smash him if he tells him where his friends are, but Megaman blasts him away. Megaman, on the other hand, now thinks that he's one of Dr. Wily's robot masters, since it wouldn't be the first time Wily threw in some bad coding and got a defiant master. However, Sonic tries to drop one of those floaty platforms on Megaman, so the fight continues. Over with Wily and Eggman, they're still having a fantastic bromantic team-up with their champagne and even complimenting their counterparts' heroes, going, "Wow, maybe yours might beat mine." Nah, Megaman hates spikes. Yeah, I'm enjoying these two together way too much. And I know it'll come crashing down because, it's Eggman and Wily. They're not exactly calm when something goes wrong. Anyways, the roboticized masters come in with that Chaos Emerald they stole from the bank, but Wily wants to finish watching the big fight before he puts it in with the others, obviously. Speaking of the fight, Megaman and Sonic both aren't sure if they can beat the other guy. But Sonic does have the upper hand since Megaman doesn't really know Green Hill Zone at all, so Sonic moves fast to confuse Megaman before bouncing off one of those bumper spring things to slam into him. But Megaman throws a haymaker to knock Sonic back. He's done pulling his punches. Meanwhile, in Megaman's world, Dr. Light, Roll, and Otto, another helper robot who doesn't get a cool musical name, unless he's named after Autotune, are worried about Megaman since he vanished with the other robots. Proto-Man teleports in to tell them that Megaman went through a portal. He took some readings and gives it to Dr. Light, hoping it'll help. Roll then guilts him into letting her repair and refuel him. While they go off for that, Dr. Light, with some helpful research from Time Man and some hefty amount of technobabble, manages to reopen the warp ring. Megaman sees the warp ring open in the Green Hill Zone. Distracted for that moment, Sonic disables his blaster, but Megaman is able to run towards the portal. Sonic tries to spin dash into him, but Megaman pulls him through the portal with him, and Tailsman flies in after, with Wily saying that Thomas is brilliant for having done it. So then Eggman now has to hear about how Dr. Light and Wily were partners, and basically, again, I swear they're written to be a couple, because Eggman really pulls the, "but we're a better couple, right?" Damn it, Ian Flynn, why did you write them to be so damn great together? So they send Bass and Metal Sonic to go kidnap Dr. Light. Back with Megaman and Sonic, they're now in Mega City again, with Sonic going, "Where even am I?" since it's not quite Station Square or Westopolis. Megaman says they're on his turf now, and he calls in backup. Rush, Eddie, Tango, and Beat, 4 mechanical animals that you may or may not know, though I'm only really familiar with Rush, his red robo-puppy. And now Megaman has help for round 2, but that'll be tomorrow, of course. So what about round 1 that I haven't said before? Well, Wily and Eggman officially have their sights on Light now, and like I said, they're still written to be kind of an awesome duo. Dr. Light, meanwhile, is mainly there just to be able to get to the next stage of the fight, moving back to Mega City. So the big thing here is definitely the fight itself, which is just fantastic. It's not trying to be large in scope on the same scale as some of the blockbusters of last year, but really sticks to who the characters are by way of their fighting. Megaman really keeps up with his blaster fire, failing due to Sonic's speed and spin dash. Something that maybe is just how I read into it, Megaman I think only ever hits Sonic once or twice overall, while Sonic does do a lot of serious hits to Megaman, which I think could be a really nifty reference to the fact that Megaman has always had a health bar versus Sonic, who's always really just had one hit if you don't have any rings. Oh, also, while not stated in the comic, this Genesis wave does change the world away from the comic continuity and is strictly going off of the original games. So anyways, tomorrow the scene has changed and Megaman now has home field advantage, so round 2 should be pretty awesome. Megaman number 25. Worlds Collide Part 4, Through the Looking Glass. Well, it's round 2, and this time Megaman has his robo-animals to help. Sonic loses control of the situation fairly quickly, so he tries running. Megaman chases after him with Rush, and there's a quick speed around the city until, through yelling at each other, they start to realize that Sonic isn't one of the thieves from the bank, and Megaman isn't the guy who kidnapped his friends. Eggman and Wily see this happening through Tailsman, and they send Tailsman to try and destroy them before they can team up. Of course, this means that Tailsman's Whirlwind, because of course that's its attack, starts throwing cars all over the place, so Sonic and Megaman call a truce to save the nameless citizens. After they clear the civvies, Megaman starts a charge in his laser, while Sonic distracts Tailsman. They hit Tailsman with a 1-2 combo, first the charged blast, then a spin dash, which has Tailsman short circuit. Megaman tries stealing his weapons data, and poof, Tailsman turns back into Tails. Woo! To skip 3 pages of dialogue, yes, they now team up. Megaman teleports all 3 of them back to Light's lab to try and figure things out, but they interrupt Bass and Metal Sonic kidnapping Dr. Light. Well, not interrupt, but walk in on it and can do nothing about it. So now Dr. Light is kidnapped, but the whole gang is together. They do some splaining, and one technobabble buffet later, they reopen the warp ring. Sonic, Tails, Proto Man, and Megaman are through the Looking Glass people and in Skull Egg Zone. That's the end of Act 1 of this crossover. Okay, that went by pretty fast. The fight before the heroics show how Megaman fights, compared to the last fight where we saw Sonic style. It was actually really neat as a general thing, so long as they show him doing what he does in the next issues. And frankly, there's a standard amount of explaining we get, which again, I do know is a turnoff to some people, but, and I swear it may honestly be because I had to deal with Doctor Strange, which was more annoying in this role, it's not that bad. I think I did find the explanation for that though. It has a 3-act structure. So it makes sense that there's a need of exposition, especially since Ian Flynn is making sure that someone like me, who really hasn't checked out the book before, can follow along. Granted, I know far more about the Sonic and Mega Man video game history, so it's not that bad. In short, this is an awesome setup to get us to the main act. So in short, it's awesome. Act 1 mainly just focuses on exposition and getting us to the meat of it, which is them teaming up to take out Eggman and Wily, so I can't complain. Come back tomorrow as we begin Act 2 as the crew goes after the Wily Egg. Sonic Universe number 52, Part 5, The Advanced Guard. So Sonic, Tails, Mega Man, and Proto Man stand in Skull Egg Zone, which is actually a pretty trippy zone. Tails has to explain the whole multiple universe thing, but Sonic is bored with that and ready to zip around. However, Rush, Mega Man's dog, and someone who we didn't see enter with them, tackle Sonic out of the way of a blast from Copy Robot. So Rush turns into his hoverboard mode, so Sonic and Mega Man can race across the waters to attack Copy Robot. But he's not alone. Genesis Unit is with him to strike. No, I have no idea who they are, but apparently they're from Mega Man, the Wily War, which was available on the Sega Genesis. I don't know. But at least Sonic has a strange sense of deja vu as he fights them. Genesis Unit consists of Buster Rod G, who looks all Sun Wukong, Hyper Storm H, who's a little piggy, and Mega Water S, who could have started life as a bird, but I can't rightly tell. Elsewhere, Dr. Light sent a message to Duo, a giant robot in space. I also have no clue about him. Over with Wily and Eggman, they're watching the fight as they love to do, when Silverman and Blaze Woman come in with their final Chaos Emerald. Wily and Eggman start dick measuring just to see who's superior, before compromising again. This time, whoever's nemesis survives longer gets to claim their world as superior. Back with Team Sega Capcom versus Genesis Unit featuring Copybot, they're fighting and it's not exactly going one way or the other. That is, until Mega Man changes his weapon data. That's right, apparently he did actually absorb Tails' whirlwind power, called Tailwind, and that turns the tides of the battle and they win. Yay! However, Mega Man is surprised because apparently in Mega Man number 14, they were totally destroyed, IC chips and all, and IC chips can't be remade. Well, they don't put 2 and 2 together yet. Yeah, it's due to the Genesis wave, at least I assume. They start their venture to Wily Egg, dealing with traps and springboards along the way. They reach within striking distance of the Wily Egg, but as they figure out their plan of attack, the roboticized masters, with Eggman and Wily in their respective hover chairs, attack from behind. Wow, that was actually a right suspenseful place to leave off. And yeah, for the most part, this is a heavy action issue, and the art carries that really well. As for all the other stuff, we get to see the first glaring contest between Wily and Eggman as they grow closer to victory. While I could try calling it out for being against what we've seen between these two at this point, it's totally within their character. Now that they're within the home stretch of winning, they have to prove they're the most superior due to their egos being at Kanye West levels. Or my own, but shh, I hide it with an inferiority complex. As for the other thing, we finally see something having changed due to the Genesis wave, being some dead folks coming back. I think it does lose a punch since this is my first time ever seeing them, but it is still good that we're actually being shown that warping the worlds did something. So tomorrow, come back as the roboticized masters, all 8 of them, face off against all 4 of our heroes. Sonic the Hedgehog number 249, Part 6, Friends or Foes. If you couldn't tell by how the last issue ended, this starts off with Team Good Guy fighting against the roboticized friends of Sonic. All during the fight, Wily and Eggman are complimenting each other again, with Sonic commenting on their buddy-buddy relationship by threatening to blow chili dog chunks. They also reveal that they have all the Chaos Emeralds, so their sole purpose now is to destroy the heroes. Proto Man says screw that idea as he goes to save Dr. Light. Eggman, worried more about Dr. Light being free, sends 5 of the roboticized masters after Proto Man. So the 3 heroes left only have 3 roboticized masters to take on. That's good at least. Tails tells them to do that thing they did to turn him un-Tails-manny. So Sonic charges in alone at their 3 opponents, riding on Rush, while Tails fiddles with Mega Man's blaster to get the energy output to be the same as Sonic's spin dash and his own charged blast. Wily and Eggman decide to return to the Wily Egg rather than take pot shots so they can coordinate their forces better. Sonic actually holds his own for a little, but he gets grabbed by Vector Man, the chaotic crocodile turned robot, not the Sega character of the same name. But Tails is done with the modifications, and Mega Man blasts Vector Man, turning him back into his leathery crocodile-y self. Or is he an alligator? Anyways, Sonic tosses the weapons data to Mega Man, who uses it to acquire the acoustic blaster. He blasts Charmy Man with it, knocking him out. Apparently that was his weakness, because Wily makes sure his robot masters all have weaknesses out of habit by now. Mega Man then blasts the downed Charmy with his regular charged blast, making him a meatbag again. Well, as meatbaggy as bees are, anyways. And now he has the rapid stinger blaster. But they can't find Espio Man. But Espio Man teleports behind Mega Man, ready to slam a kunai into Mega Man's back. Sonic grabs Espio Man so Mega Man can blast him with his Make Everything Better blaster. So now the Chaotix crew are all better, and Mega Man now has Chroma Camo. 4 new weapons in a single day, which Sonic is obviously snarky about. The Chaotix crew gets sent to go find Proto Man, while Tails, Sonic, and Mega Man head towards the Wily Egg. In the egg, Eggman and Wily are a bit annoyed at the fact that things are going well for their heroes when they decide to send Shadow Man for their main problem. Wily wonders if he meant his Shadow Man Robot Master or Shadow Man the Roboticized Master before they agree that both will work. Actually, I love this scene because Eggman is thinking about the tactics they're using, spreading themselves a bit thin, while Wily is pretty blasé about it since they can always summon many of his former Robot Masters, so they have a nearly unlimited army. Plus, they do still have Dr. Light in the brig. And that's the end of this issue, and, well, they won that fight fairly quickly. Yeah, 5 went after Proto Man, so it was an even match, and you can't really gauge a comic's pacing until the whole thing is done when it's a multi-parter like this, but it feels like it went a bit too quickly. I mean, now Mega Man can just blast the other 5, and it'll be over pretty fast. I do, however, and I feel remiss for reaching the halfway point of this series before saying this, love the art. The characters look like they should, and it really shines in the action scenes. Even with a change in artist going back to the regular Sonic artist, there's no marked difference, but that's where it shines. Sonic never looks off-model even when he's running around at the speed of sound, and the action is clear and crisp to follow. It's just awesome. So we're halfway done with this series, so come back tomorrow as we have a showdown in the Skull Egg Zone. Mega Man number 26, Worlds Collide Part 7, Evening the Odds. Sonic and Mega Man are having some fun ribbing each other as they continue looking for the roboticized masters, rather than going for the Wily Egg so they can save their friends. Always nice. Tails tells them to behave, and Sonic does genuinely say thank you to Mega Man for helping save his friends, even though that's not his responsibility. But suddenly, they're attacked by Shadow Man. Which one? Both of them! After a minor communication snafu about which Shadow Man is which, Shadow the Hedgehog Man blasts Sonic with his Chaos Cannon. But Mega Man uses Espio's Chroma Camo to get close enough and then blast him with his Tailwind Blaster. Stunned, Mega Man then blasts him with his Charge Blast, and Shadow is back to his normal Hedgehog self, which is nothing like a regular Hedgehog, so it's still weird. Now that Mega Man has the Chaos Cannon, he fires at Robot Master Shadow Man, getting him caught in Chaos Control, and the fight's done. However, anyone who knows Shadow the Hedgehog knows that the ultimate life form will not let such humiliation stand, so Shadow smashes Shadow Man to bits. Even though Sonic and Megaman don't like that, they ask if he wants to go help Proto Man to save Dr. Light, or if he wants to go save their roboticized friends. Shadow chooses neither and teleports away. But in that blinding flash of light, Tails and Megaman suddenly have memories of a different world. Flash is like Mecha Sally, and basically they're just very confused. But Sonic explains all about how he felt that the last time in the Sonic Genesis graphic novel. Assumably, it's the chaos control that disrupted their memories. But who cares about the explanation? The doctors did something wrong, so they need to make it right. Short, sweet, to the point. Over with Wily and Eggman, Orbot, one of Dr. Eggman's hench robots, interrupts their gloating to tell them that the Shadowmans, because they're proper nouns, it's mans not men, deal, have been destroyed. Wily and Eggman go to get more robots, leaving Dr. Light alone in his prison tube thing. Suddenly, a busty bat comes along. It's Rouge from Team Dark and Fanboy Fat Material since 2001. She's not there to save Light, of course, rather to save her teammate and screw over the doctors, which is why she has a full schematic of the Wily Egg on a thumb drive which she wants Light to look at. Over with Team Sega Capcom, Sonic is having a problem with a disappearing platforming level, with everyone up on the top of the waterfall waiting for him. However, Tails, Megaman, and Rush come diving back down as their butts get singed by new attackers, Silverman and Blaze Woman. Sonic takes on Blaze while Megaman fires at Silver, but Silver fires his own energy blast, freezing Megaman, though luckily Megaman's blast hits Silver, so he's back to being a fleshy hedgehog. While Silver tries to unfreeze Megaman, Sonic and Tails are getting a bit toasted, but Silver freezes Blaze and then Megaman blasts her. Yay! Now Silver and Blaze are okay. However, they won't be helping since they need to recharge, so Sonic and the gang go back to finding the other roboticized masters to change them back. Elsewhere, the Chaotix crew finally meets up with Proto Man, but above the canyon they're in, Knuckles Man and Rose Woman are about to attack, before Wily and Eggman redirects them back to Sonic and Mega Man to destroy them at any cost, including their self-destruct option being authorized. Dun dun dun! So in this we have 3 roboticized masters turned back and Shadow Man, the robot master, being taken out. And honestly, there's not a lot to say about this issue. There's a fight, the Sonic and Mega Man team wins. And here's where I need to talk about why these work. While there really isn't a lot happening, it's all about the characters in the situations. Honestly, the fights really are, here's a roboticized master, here's a page of filler, and Mega Man blasts him for the win. It could feel cheap or anticlimactic, and to some extent, I guess it is, but it works because the characters are handled so well within the fights. Sonic is very much tongue-in-cheek and lighthearted, while Mega Man is a Boy Scout who does the technicals. It just works, and honestly, the fights do lose something with me just explaining what happens. I know I can admit fault in my own style. Anyways, tomorrow we reach the end of Act 2 with the big fight to free the last of their friends. Will it be so cut and dry, or will the rules-free Skull Egg Zone get pretty heavy? Stay tuned, true believers. Sonic Universe number 53, Worlds Collide Part 8, Liberation. We begin with Wily and Eggman really feeling the stress of the fact that they have 2 roboticized masters left, both putting on a good friendly face while thinking that they'll have to cut and run on the other in case things fail. Meanwhile, Sonic, Mega Man, and Tails are taking it slow, looking for Knuckles and Amy to save them. But Sonic is really impatient on the whole taking it slow thing. He quips that he just wishes they'd ambush him to make it easier. Of course, that's what happens. However, it's not as simple as the others. Amy and Knuckles are able to deflect or destroy Mega Man's blast, and they've got their own self-destruct ready to blow in 2 minutes. But a lucky shot stuns Amy, with enough time for Mega Man to blast her. Taking her Pico Hammer power-up, he uses it to break Knuckle Man's sharp knuckles. And then in a surprisingly epic page, everyone gets a shot at Knuckles to stun him, while Mega Man morphs back into his blue bomber form and gives him a charge blast to turn him back to our favorite Ford penis character. Echidnas, man. They're weird that way. So now they're both free. Knuckles is ready to go take some shots at Eggman, and Proto Man has the location of the Wily Egg, so everyone's going to meet up there, with Mega Man heading back to grab Silver and Blaze. And in the Wily Egg, Eggman and Wily are definitely starting to cross wires, as they argue over whether they need to put more power in the mouth laser or the booster rockets of their mechanical attack mech. But Orbot comes in to ruin their day again, with even more news of all roboticized masters now being freed, but even worse, they're leaking chaos energy due to a saboteur. Metal Sonic and Bass reach Rouge the Bat first, who decides to turn a wheel, and suddenly the Chaos Devil, a proto-massive evil, gloops out of a pipe. It attacks Rouge and everyone else, but Dr. Eggman comes in and chides it like a bad puppy, and it lets them go before going wherever it goes. But at least they capture Rouge, they know that the Chaos Devil functions, and they have a huge army of robot masters. and soon their death machine will be ready, so they're not looking too bad. Oh, and back in Megaman's world, Duo arrives on Earth, asking where justice needs to be done. Okay. And that's the end of this issue and Act 2 as a whole. As an issue, I'll honestly say that I like this fight far more than I probably should. It's a lot longer than the others and really works hardcore to give it an edge, especially with a self-destruct timer. Plus, this is probably the only time in the last couple issues that it wasn't just a cut and dry use of the Make Everything Better blaster to make everything better. Though I will say that the color scheme is a little dark on this issue. Now it could just be my phone since I am reading this off the Sonic Comics app. By the way, you should totally get it. It is pretty rad for all your Sonic needs. Plus, there is one for Mega Man. Check your mobile device stores for details. But anyway, so yeah, the colors seem a little darker on this. It could just be due to two colorists on this book, but it is still pretty nice, and I think the darker colors actually had a bit of weight to this whole thing. So, now that everyone's been saved and there's a big army waiting for them, let's enter into the final stretch with Act 3 and hope for the best. Sonic the Hedgehog number 250, Worlds Collide Part 9, All Out War. So we finally reach Act 3 and all the good guys are together, ready to start their siege on the Wily Egg. However, before they can, all the former robot masters come charging out of the egg at them. It is an entire army versus 14 heroes. Yeah, apparently Omega is now on Team Sega Capcom, even though I don't recall him popping up at all in this series until this point. As the title says, this is all-out war. Sonic, of course, is the first to charge into battle, and we get a lot of heated action. Megaman comments that it really does feel like he's taken out hundreds of these guys in his history, but he's really glad that the original lineup isn't there, since he's having a hard time destroying these guys all over again. Meanwhile, in the egg, Wily and Eggman watch the battle. They make a bet on who's going to last longer, before turning their attention to Dr. Light. Dr. Light tries to do some speechifying, but Wily interrupts him to tell him how wrong he's always been, while Wily now has complete control. To which Light then basically turns around to every time Wily's lost control over his creations, which has been a hell of a lot. And then he even points to Eggman's failures with things like Chaos and the Ark from Sonic Adventures and Sonic Adventures 2. Frustrated, Wily and Eggman storm off, while Light hopes that his friends are okay outside. Outside, the battle rages on. Best moment ever is that Blaze is facing off against all the other fire-themed robot masters. She actually has what I'm going to call a Phoenix moment, where she goes full epic when she says that she controls all fire and immolates those robot masters. Another notable moment, and this is just because I sort of dig it, among all the other references that are going on, like Charmy taking on Hornet Man or Vector going against Snake Man, is that Espio and Shadow Man actually bow to each other before their fight, and then go at it hardcore. Since this is pretty bombastic and hard to explain, let's go with the simple thing that for the most part everyone does fight against their equals, or at least their semi-equals. I mean, I wouldn't say that Tails facing off against the other Flyers is a fair fight. Oh, and during the scuffle, Mega Man zaps Rouge the Bat back to being furry fat material and not them weird Transformer people fat material. You know the ones I mean. Anyways, the fight continues, but Sonic flying with Tails and Mega Man rides on Rush to charge at the egg while everyone else fights the Robot Masters. On the Wily Egg, however, Orbot comes to Eggman to tell him that there's a low-level transmission coming from the prison area. So Eggman takes Metal Sonic and confronts Light, who used scavenged parts to try and communicate with Rouge. Eggman, being legitimately evil, has Metal Sonic drag him to the bottom of the egg. Eggman opens up the floor and throws Dr. Light down. Mega Man, still far away on his approach, sees his father falling through the air towards the darkness. So, I can say that yeah, this huge battle is really freaking sweet, pitting like powers against each other for various degrees of badass, like the Blaze thing, or just quick jokes like Vector facing Snake Man. There's a lot of robot masters, so you can really see Sonic speeding around, or Mega Man just blasting as much and as best as he can without it feeling like they're actually holding back. But the best part of this issue is Light, Eggman, and Wily's interaction. Light comes off as the altruistic, idealistic robot genius Santa Claus that he is, and Wily, when compared to it, really doesn't show that he's technically evil, but that he's going a different path. Light's whole deal is making a human robot all Pinocchio-like, while Wily actually wants to make robots and doesn't hide behind looking good like Papa Tom does. If I were a Mega Man fanboy, this probably would have really made me just fangasm. But since I am a Sonic fanboy, Eggman being legitimately evil, working things out about a spy, and even chucking Light out with the trash to kill him is what makes me get that big dumb fanboy grin. Oh, and there's also a reprint of Sonic the Hedgehog number 229, which was the end of the first Genesis arc. I'm not going to say anything on that because it's the ender to that arc, and way before I have so many comics I need to get through before I get to 229. Though hey, Snively and Sally do show up for the show, so yay! Either way, can Light be saved? Well, of course, since it's not that dark of a comic, though I would love to see an Archie After Dark take on this series. Anyways, come back tomorrow. Megaman number 27. Worlds Collide Part 10, No Holds Barred. Megaman cries out for his father as he races towards him as fast as he can, but there's no way he can reach him in time. Tears streaming from his face, he begs for someone just to do something. As Dr. Light plummets into the deep dark, suddenly there's a flash of light. Shadow grabs Dr. Light and then teleports back to the middle of combat. Proto Man lets Light use his helmet to talk to Megaman to tell him that he's safe and they need to end this. Megaman is now feeling great and ready for the finale as he, Rush, Sonic, and Tails go into the warp zone and poof into the wily egg. Dr. Light, meanwhile, fashions his own Mega Blaster and joins the fight, while anticipating reinforcements soon, which we do see Duo entering the warp ring over in Mega City. Aboard the wily egg, Wily and Eggman are in a full argument over the fact that Eggman tried to kill Light. Wily may not have liked Light, but he wanted to see him humiliated and defeated, but never dead. However, Base interrupts to tell them that Sonic, Megaman, and their hanger-ons are in the egg. So they send their Mega Man killers to slow them down, but in their mind, Wily and Eggman are now separate in their goals. Over with Sonic and Mega Man, they're comparing, saying that this is classic layout from their respective foes, until the Mega Man killers, who I think pop up through Mega Man 3, 4, and 5, charge in. There's a pretty okay fight, though Tails actually gets a bomb to the face. While not dead, he can't go on, so Rush stays with him as Sonic and Mega Man go on alone. They enter the next room, and boom, it's Chaos Devil, who gives them a run for their money, but as they're being drowned by his tendrils, Duo comes out of nowhere with a haymaker. Duo stays to fight Chaos Devil, and Sonic and Mega Man go on alone some more. But as they reach Checkpoint X, Base and Metal Sonic strike. Oh, and Treble is there. That's Base's mechanical wolf. Yeah. So the greatest thing in this, which seems to be the best part of this entire event, is the final dissolution of the great robotic bromance. It's something we've seen totally throughout this series, is that Eggman is darker than Wily. And while Wily can go, "Oh whatever, we've got more robot masters," or "we should go coordinate," rather than Eggman wanting to take pot shots at the heroes while they're fighting the roboticized masters like 4 or 5 issues back. Eggman, seeing that Dr. Light is in fact a threat, he logically should kill him, while Wily wants him destroyed socially. It's great to see that dynamic come to a head finally, as we've known that it was going to do. That's really pretty spectacular writing that can surprise anyone who's come into this thinking that it was just going to be a fluffy crossover between 2 family-friendly comic books. And tomorrow, Sonic and Mega Man face off against the worst of Eggman and Wily's creations, as we reach the second to last issue. Sonic Universe number 54, Worlds Collide Part 11, Worst of the Worst. Dr. Wily and Eggman are finalizing their Egg Wily Machine X, though there's some worry about the fight between Duo and Chaos Devil, which has really been rocking the egg, may destabilize the Genesis reactor, which will destroy everyone's universes. And we get the final resolve in both of their mind that they need to eliminate the other. Meanwhile, at Checkpoint X, Sonic and Mega Man are locked in battle with Metal Sonic, Bass, and Treble. Sonic is, of course, mocking Metal Sonic as they fight, since he's won like so many times at this point. However, Mega Man is generally on the defense, as Bass takes pot shots while Treble keeps charging at him face first. However, Sonic and Mega Man realize that they're just being delayed, so they pull the old switcheroo, with Mega Man going after Metal Sonic and Sonic going for Bass, which actually goes horribly wrong. Sonic can't banter with the hardcore press that Bass and Treble go for, which knocks him off his game. And similarly, as we saw way back in issue 3, Mega Man is not someone who can handle speedsters, so he gets tossed aside. So then Sonic comes up with a new plan, combine their efforts on one of them. Bass and Metal Sonic actually play rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first, and it's time to drop the bass. I am so sorry for that joke. Short of it, yeah, they do defeat the two, with Sonic quipping and being fast, while Mega Man just unloads all the acquired roboticized master powers, in stunning usage actually. Even though they won, they're exhausted, but they're determined. The Egg Wily Machine X smashes through the wall and knocks the determination right out of them. They awake in containment pods, and the doctors are gloating. While Megaman asks about the Chaos Emeralds nearby, they go into their usual exposition, but it really feels much more like when they were talking at the beginning of the book, where they were happy working together and everything. They even tell their ultimate plan of becoming gods when they rewrite the universe. But let's not forget the battle that is still raging outside, as all of Sonic and Mega Man's allies are battered and exhausted, surrounded by robot masters. The highlight of this issue for me is the obvious thing, the fight of Sonic and Mega Man versus Base and Metal Sonic. Well, of course it's obvious that they'll win. This legitimately was a struggle more than any other fight previously. They technically lost the first couple rounds, if we count every time that they had to change tactic as a new round. This also shows the growth from the two characters where even when they were working together to free Sonic's roboticized friends, they were basically working separately. And yeah, it's a general arc used in team-ups where they learn to work together, but it's done naturally and not with them doing the whole we can now read each other's minds sort of thing that tends to cap off that arc. But just being able to really work together with a plan. I like it. It's simple, sweet, I like it. I'll probably talk more about it when I do the binging on comics for this. So tomorrow, we reach the final issue, and boy, it should be a real doozy. Sonic the Hedgehog number 251, Worlds Collide Part 12, Best of the Best, the final issue. Wily and Eggman have won. Well, technically, they're really close to the edge of winning, as the Genesis wave is ready to go. They have their enemies trapped, and even outside, the Robot Masters are slowly overwhelming everyone else. Speaking of those support characters outside, suddenly blasts of blue just rain down from the sky. It's the original Light Robot Masters come to save the day. In the egg, Eggman and Wily are gloating, but Wily also didn't know that to reshape the universe, they have to break the worlds. Eggman says the damage will be undone when they remake the world, but you gotta break eggs to make an omelet, or something like that. However, Knuckles and Blue bash through the wall. Aw yeah. Eggman and Wily retreat to the Egg Wily Machine X, with Knuckles and Proto Man following, while Dr. Light frees Sonic and Mega Man. Mega Man uses his super adapter to fuse with Rush, which looks pretty cool. Proto Man and Knuckles actually crack the Egg Wily Machine X, thanks to the fact that Wily and Eggman kinda sabotaged each other. But their ship can self-repair, so they call a truce just so they can win, and then they can go at each other. However, Sonic has other ideas as he and Mega Man use the Chaos Emeralds to go Super Saiyan. Well, technically just in super form, but come on, they've always been going Super Saiyan, just look at them. Yeah, that's their super forms on the cover, obviously. And they're kicking some serious butt, but they can't get past the self-repair and the super shield. Oh, what are they to do? Sonic starts to spin dash and Mega Man launches him at the Egg Wily Machine X with a charged blast. Boom. Game changer. The Machine X explodes, so now Sonic and Mega Man hold the energies to reshape their worlds in their hands. As they focus on their own universe to fix them, the Egg Wily Machine X's head hits Sonic, but Sonic tells Mega Man to worry about his own world. Sonic can take care of his own. Mega Man shoots, reshaping his world just as he wanted. Maybe. Sonic, however, launches his, but Eggman launches an attack at Sonic's ball of energy, and the universe in front of them shatters. And that's how they end this issue. I know, such a cock-tease ending, but that's the end of the whole kit and caboodle. Mega Man did remake his world and save it, but what happens to Sonic and his universe ends in Sonic the Hedgehog 252 when we see the new world. But that is for another show, sadly. So does this issue wrap everything up nicely? Well, yes and no. Well, there's not a lot of meat to this issue, though I do love the appearance of the original Light Robot Masters, and them going Super Saiyan with the Chaos Emeralds is always awesome to really make this a ramp up to an epic finale. And honestly, the Mega Man Ender worked really well to put the series back on track since, from what I've been told, the continuity basically reverted back more than becoming totally different. But my god, the Sonic ending has me ready to race into the next issue. I mean, come on. Eggman just screwed the Sonic universe, and I'm actually quite curious about how that whole thing turns out. It's a great ender to a great event that makes you want to see more. But what do I think of the whole crossover event? Over on my main channel, there is the show Binging on Comics, where I discuss the events as a whole, where I talk about writing, art, and so much more. Link will be in the description as soon as it's up, or you can just meander over and check out the past Binging on Comics. Even the ones I did a couple years ago, they may or may not be terrible. What's next on this channel, though? Well, tomorrow is Friday the 13th, so I chose a fitting book. As always, stay golden, Inklings. Ch-ch.